Okay, welcome to your strength session working through the ankles. Okay, like we were talking about before, everything is interconnected. Okay, so in this session we will be strengthening through the ankles and the calves, but in turn that will help with the hips and also the knees and working all the way. Okay, through these strength exercises, it's really important to remember that principle that sometimes we have to regress to progress. That means that sometimes we have to do the simpler option to really get those muscles firing and working before we can start to progress them back through. Okay, so you might be feeling very strong in other areas but weaker in others. And that's absolutely fine, and this is the process that we need to go through to be able to really get ourselves into that bulletproof position where we've got a massive amount of strength through a huge range of motion, which will then allow us to be able to perform better and also keep ourselves strong for longer into the future as well. So future proofing our bodies to be able to keep on doing what we love and enjoy doing. Okay, so we've got 5 strengthening exercises working through the calves and the ankles in these particular exercises. So the first one here is going to be a toe raise. Here we're going to be working the tibialis muscle group, or the muscle group along the side of the shin bone. And this is a really important muscle group because every time we put a step downwards, it's isometrically contracting or holding still, allowing us to have that strength to be able to stabilize the whole of the body. Okay, so even if we are toe planting or forefoot planting, it's still massively contracting to reduce tension, and so we need to gain strength in that. And a brilliant way to do that one is the toe raise. So all you need here is a wall or a tree, okay, and we can just move ourselves back into a leaning position. The further away your feet are, the harder it is. The closer the feet are to the wall, the harder it is. You might find as well, if you're wearing trainers, then it's a little bit more difficult to come up onto the heels as it would be in either really minimal shoes or in barefoot, without any shoes on at all. Okay, so you're going to lean back against the wall, you're going to have the hands out by the side or out of the way, and then we're going to go for 25 repetitions, keeping the legs nice and straight, and we're trying to get a really good contraction through the top of these muscle groups on the top of those shin bones here. Okay, so we're really trying to pull the toe up towards you, keeping it nice and straight, flattening it down and then pulling again. And like I say, we want to get to the point where you can do 25 and really start to feel that burn at the top, and we can just hold the last repetition a couple of reps. If you're not feeling it at that 25th rep, then like I say, move the feet further back, and then that will be harder as the tension grows with that angle to be able to do that particular exercise. Okay, if you find that you can only do 10 or 12, then just bring the feet in and then carry on those repetitions into that angle there. Okay, so you can just do that mechanical drop set, we call it, where the feet start out quite far away and you can only get a few repetitions out, and then you can bring them in a little bit closer and keep on going until you've done those 25 repetitions. It's such a powerful exercise, and it really does make a massive difference to our performance, but also increasing that strength here will allow us to unlock a range of motion that we're not able to do without building that strength into there. Okay, so 25 of the toe raises. Next one, we're going to be working with the wall again, and we're going to go for a nice lean in. Okay, this allows us to work that muscle group which connects to the big toe all the way up and through the calves, slightly different than just a normal straight calf raise. Here we're going to lean in against the wall, okay, at that angle, so we get a nice good stretch. Heel is in contact with the ground, and then we're going to push up onto the toes and then come back down. Okay, so we're just driving straight up and then back down. Okay, we want to do quite a few repetitions on this one, so up to 50 reps we can do here. And if you really are finding that one easy, even at that angle, then we can just move across and do a single leg version to be able to put all the weight down onto one side there. Okay, and it is a fantastic way to work the calf in a slightly different way, but also gaining that range of motion. As you can see, we managed to drop that heel right the way down and then building it up, and it just works that different section of the calf, which is so important for running and functional movement, what we forget to do. Still staying with the wall on the next one, we're going to go for the knee over toe squat one. So here we can place your fingers tips, and I mean fingertips on this one. I don't want you grabbing hold of the wall and pushing down, you just want your fingertips. Next you're going to squat down slightly, pushing the knees over the ends of the toes, okay? So the knees must try and drive over the ends of the toes. You're going to stay in that squat position, and we're going to push up onto your toes there, okay? And again, we're going to go for 25 repetitions, nice and smooth, up and down in that position, okay? Again, we can go into a single leg version with just one side and then moving on to the other side if you're finding that particularly easy on that exercise, okay? Now, that tibialis raise was so important that in this routine we're actually going to go back to it, okay? So we're going to move back into the toe raise here, okay? So again, we're going to go for another 25 repetitions in this little circuit where we're moving across into that position, bringing those toes back up like the first exercise, exactly the same. So leaning back against the wall, feet further away makes it more difficult, feet closer to the wall makes it that little bit easier. Great, okay, so next exercise, we're just going to do this toe squat, okay, to knees down if you can. So here is a little bit more control. So we're going to push up onto your toes, okay, and once you're onto your toes, you're going to start to drive the knees forwards into that position at the same time as leaning back until we get our knees down onto the ground, okay? Then we're going to just come back up and reset to re-go again. So we're just going to go for the way down phase where we're a little bit more strong and a little bit more control. So you're going to start driving the knees forwards, you're going to start leaning the back, the core is nice and strong, and we're going to go down nice and steady until we're at that point, and then come back up to reset, okay? Now, if you're struggling to do that one to begin with, you can just have 2 chairs by the side of you, or you could use some TRX straps, something to give you a little bit of support and control on that way down phase, okay? Remember, trying to drive those knees forwards, getting into that samurai sit, and then we can just help ourselves back on the way up there, okay? Next one, we're going to just work a little bit of strength on this roll with the ankle. Here, what we're going to do is we're going to roll the ankle forwards, and we're going to stay into that position, okay? Last exercise, and we're just going to step forward, okay? So we're going to have into there, and then we're just going to step forward into it, and then we're going to come back. Step forward, and then come back, okay? And that, what that does is a brief second we're putting all the weight across onto that side. Now if you're struggling with that one, to regress it slightly, we can just lean forward and then move back, lean forward and then move back, okay? Now to make that a little bit harder than the step through, what we can do is place the foot down onto that side and then drive the knee straight up into that position, okay? All the time trying to keep that foot right out to the side, and we're building that strength in that range of motion with that particular exercise there too. Great stuff. Okay, so have fun with those exercises. I've written down all the reps and sets you need to do. You just need to go through it once for me, okay, and that will be sufficient as a little circuit to really gain mobility and strength through those ankles, allowing you to have that bulletproof ankle strength, also helping to reduce injury, but also allowing you to perform better out there whilst we're running those trails. Take care, and we'll speak soon.